Hi, I'm LifeCoachLANDRY, and the topic today is H. pylori, also known as Helicobacter, which is a horrible kind of bacteria in your gut that causes some really nasty symptoms that if anybody was educated on it, you would know that almost everybody in their life carries H. pylori in their stomach. However, a lot of people, it doesn't trigger, it doesn't come out until certain times in your life. So I thought, because I've had it myself and gone through things that doctors could not figure out, that I had to figure out on my own. I thought, well, let me educate people on what's going on. And it's October, it's a scary month, so why not talk about something as evil as H. pylori, okay? Some of the things that H. pylori causes are ulcers, gastritis, IBS, and candida, which is an overgrowth of bad bacteria that feeds on yeast. So when you eat things like bread and chips and potatoes and biscuits, this bacteria keeps growing and growing and growing. And a lot of people, they can't recognize these things are happening to them because they don't know the symptoms, okay? And the thing about the symptoms are they're so vague and they're everywhere that most doctors are going to send you for countless tests. You're gonna go through a bunch of things. We're gonna find out in the end they're not gonna be able to find anything except for the results of usually the H. pylori. The only test that you can go do is a blood test for H. pylori, or a breath test, or a stool test at a GI doctor. However, if they don't suspect that, they're gonna skip all the tests that would ever let you know that's what you had the whole time. And some of the symptoms are, for some people, debilitating, okay? Upper and lower abdomen pain, okay? When you lay down at night or when you're sitting, doesn't matter. Esophageal spasms of the esophagus, which tighten the chest, which gives you chest tightness, which some people go to the ER because they think they're having a heart attack. So you want to make sure you get checked, but once your heart and stuff's ruled out, the next step I would look for is if your esophagus is contracting. The reason it does that is because H. pylori causes horrible acid reflux, which bathes your nerves in acid, which makes your esophagus contract and spasm because you're basically burning it, okay? Another one is mid and upper back pain. You're going to go to a chiropractor, you're going to go do acupuncture, you're going to tell your doctor you need pain meds, and in the end you have no idea that because you have an ulcer or you have acid reflux or you have gastritis, that the inflammation of that area of your, where your esophagus is and your upper abdomen, when it inflames, it starts to push on other organs, and the nerves that get bathed in the acid start causing referred pain to your mid and upper back. Typically not your lower back, it's typically in the mid and upper back, okay? The reason this is all happening is H. pylori will dilute, so to speak, and make your stomach acid less efficient and produce less, so your food sits in your stomach, which in turn causes acid reflux, which in turn causes back pain, which in turn causes ulcers, because H. pylori is a screw-like bacteria that literally screws into your gut, and typically people get it from a lot of the things I just said, like acid reflux and things like that, or acid reflux is a byproduct of it, or you're taking too much ibuprofen, or you're taking too many antibiotics. What ibuprofen and things like aspirin do is they stop your stomach lining from being formed, which the bacteria that's already in there says, oh, now I have a chance to stick in the skin and be here forever because there's no lining anymore. So it gets in there, and once it's in there, it's a tough little sucker. It'll stay in there and cause havoc. You'll get lumps in the throat from the acid reflux. You can get anemia. And the reason a lot of these things start kicking in is because this food is sitting there. You're not getting the nutrients daily anymore that you were normally getting from your food. And it gets worse and worse. The candida that it causes, which feeds on the yeast in bread, keeps growing and growing. And basically, because you've been taking antibiotics or ibuprofen or whatever it is, antibiotics kill the good bacteria that help fight this from ever taking over. Once that goes down and this takes over, there's very few things you can do except for the things I'm going to tell you. But before I get into that, one thing I want to tell you are the things that don't help is, like I said, ibuprofen, aspirin, antacids. You don't want to lower your stomach acid any further than it's already been lowered because it's what keeps the bad bacteria from surviving. Since H. pylori lowers that acid, all your bad bacteria has had a chance to overgrow, and H. pylori and specifically will take a hold and cause all kinds of havoc. Like I said, it's a domino effect. It starts causing one thing after another. So people start treating just acid reflux, or they start treating, oh, I have an ulcer, I need an antacid, not realizing that because H. pylori is present in the stomach, these things are going to keep reoccurring, and they're never actually going to go away until the bacteria is rid of, okay? I know this from personal experience. I spent a couple $1,000s in tests and looking at things before doctors were just baffled and told me it might be anxiety, and they did the typical things. And me being, in psychology, I said, anxiety is not my problem. My anxiety is a byproduct of what I'm actually feeling. And that's a big difference, okay? So the other thing you want to make sure you don't do is you don't take any more antibiotics, because you're going to keep killing the bacteria the good bacteria that's trying to defeat the bad bacteria. And you don't want to do any stretches of your abdomen area, especially if you have an ulcer, because you're going to irritate the lining where that ulcer is sitting. Sometimes it's right in the sphincter area that connects your esophagus. Sometimes it's in the duodenal area of the stomach. And sometimes it's a peptic ulcer, which bleeds, and that makes you feel faintish. When you drink like a Coke, you're pouring acid right on it, can make you want to faint if you're having symptoms like that. So what helps? What in the end helps defeat this stuff, this evil thing, H. pylori? Let me tell you the number one thing to take that changed anybody I've told about and myself when I took it. I suffered from what I was going through and the symptoms that I've talked about for months on end with no avail. And then I took mastic gum. Okay, mastic gum can be bought in a vitamin shop. You can buy it online at any store. But mastic gum is a unique resin that's grown in the Mediterranean. For centuries, this resin has been used to improve digestion, oral health. It contains antioxidants that supports therapeutic properties of the body. So depending on your individual need, they sell it in tablets or capsules. I recommend taking 1,000 milligrams. It comes in 500 at a time in capsules or tablets. I recommend taking 1,000 in the morning on an empty stomach 1 hour before you eat. And then 1 hour after you eaten, take it right before bed, another 1,000. Okay, so you're doing it on an empty stomach in the morning, and on a stomach that's already digested most of the items that you have in your stomach for the day, right before bed. Okay, most people within 72 hours will notice a huge improvement. It's all natural. It doesn't hurt anything else in your body. It only kills Candida and H. pylori, and then helps with other things. Okay. It's absolutely wonderful, the things that can help you with. I'm a huge advocate of natural ways to make our body better. And I tell people all the time that your body and nature has tons of ways to help you. So it can clear all the bad bacteria out. So I tell people, what does it hurt to try something that's relatively cheap? Typically, you can get it online at a very reasonable price. The next item I would tell you to try out is coconut oil. And just mix that in with your coffee. I would do 2 tablespoons to a tablespoon. Try to do 2 tablespoons a day while you're doing the mastic gum. Also, you want to try putting, you can get coconut oil at the grocery store. Also, you want to try some cabbage juice and a good probiotic. You can buy cabbage juice. If you don't want to make it every day and have to juice it, go online and buy cabbage powder. You can buy that online. But more than anything, I can't recommend mastic gum enough. People who have horrible acid reflux, horrible IBS, if you have Crohn's disease, if you have things like that, give yourself an easy, cheap, natural remedy first, if you can, to help yourself out. What you'll notice is if you had acid reflux, back pain, chest tightness, that's already been checked out for not being cardiac in nature, once all those things are checked out and you take mastic gum, in 72 hours, most people are going to go, this saved my life in a lot of ways. So I tell people, go online, read the reviews, and if you can, try to get it. If you get it in tablet form, the best thing to do is to chew it up and then swallow it. You're going to notice if it's good mastic gum, it's going to have a pine tree-like smell. If it doesn't have a pine tree-like smell, it's probably got flour in it or some kind of junk like that. Go with some name brands, read reviews, and see if that helps out. So again, if you have ulcer, gastritis, IBS, candida in you, things like that, and you'll know from if you have a lot of the symptoms like acid reflux and things like that. Hiatal hernias can also lean and help the situation out if you have one. But if you've ruled out that hiatal hernia is probably not causing your symptoms, this can't hurt to try. It doesn't do anything bad to you at all. It can only help. It's either going to do nothing or totally help you out. And I say, forget the doctors and go a route where it's effective, cost effective for you, and has scientifically been proven, to help with the gut, the digestion, acid reflux, and killing bacteria that causes all of the symptoms I listed earlier, okay? So I hope this information helps you. If you want to know more information about this kind of thing, you can contact me below. If you want to come online and tell your story and do a segment with me, you can tell me your story after you try it out if you have great success with it. And if you just want to contact me for anything else, or you want to see a certain kind of video posted, let me know in the comments below. And I'm curious, if this helps you guys out, comment below and let me know how mastic gum affects you, and tell your personal story so others can get information. Information is powerful. Share it all the time you can. Let everybody know the magic cures in nature are out there, and share your stories below, okay? Hope this helps you guys. I will talk to you soon.